Realized my mic was off there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on a late stream tonight. It's going to be a short one. I don't know why I didn't think to do this a little earlier, but we're here now, so welcome. We're going to play a little bit of cow levels with my sorceress. Just trying to level her up. She is level 67, doing about 4k damage with a mercenary, pulling in about 1400 damage as well. He's more of the distractor to keep all the cows in line while I blast them. So here we are. I've already taken the liberty of opening up the cow level, and we are going to drop some gold so that we don't lose it. All right. Thought I killed them all for a second. Alright, I'm gonna bring that sound down a bit. It's a little overwhelming. You can't hear my wonderful voice. And I definitely want you to hear me, but I also want you to hear the game too, so. If it's too quiet, let me know. Alright. So I'm definitely not really leveled correctly to be doing this solo. So I'm doing this a little bit special. So basically what my plan of attack has been, and I've done this for a couple of runs already. I've done 2 full cow levels, and I don't think I've really died at all. But what I'm doing is I am pulling back, and once I pull back, I start blasting. That gives my merc a chance to recoup some of his health, and once his health is back up, he can keep fighting. That's kind of my strategy right now. So right, I'm also hovering really close to these barriers, these walls, because I know that nothing can kind of sneak out and grab me from the other side of them. Although, wouldn't that be something if that happened? I think it would probably shit my pants if that happened, because it's not something that's supposed to happen. All right. So I'm using teleport right now as the means to disengage. Oh, that was maximum engagement. I did not want that. Be careful not to slip my finger on the right click button. All right. I want to thank anybody who joined me last night. Sorry I didn't have my camera or microphone on. Was just having a chill stream. Just wanted to listen to the tunes, level up, and just relax. You know. Wanted to include you all in my my leveling, but I didn't really want to ruin the gameplay by talking through it. So tonight, making up for it a little bit by having a later stream and making sure that you guys have the opportunity to say hello if you're here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the video if you think that I did a good job playing this game, or if you think you can do better. Please let me know. Oh, and I let my merc die.
Yes.
All right. Back in the pit. All right. He did not drop anything worthwhile. Wait, what was on that? War cries. Not my deal. All right. Yeah, so basically what I'm watching for up here in the corner, I'm watching my merc's health. This green bar, if it drops below 50%, I heal him a little bit, and then I pull him back by just teleporting behind myself. And really the goal is just to pull the cows towards me and away from other herds. If you notice here, there's a ton of cows. This is a bit much for me, so I'm just going to pull back and blast. Pull back and blast. And for a sorceress, this is really an effective means to level, especially if you're in an area that you really shouldn't be in yet. I don't think I should be in here until at least, I want to say 75. But need me some levels. All right. I am trying a new combination too. I was using a spirit sword with a two doll skills to lidless, giving me a total of $3 skills and just overall a bunch of mana with the sword. And I just switched over. I had a spirit shield on hand that I've been kind of debating on whether or not I was going to use, because it's only 1 to skills in PD2, and it's not as lucrative as it used to be. So when you get a 2 to skills lidless, you really want to exploit that for the most part. But I found this Hexfire sword, which has got 3 to fire skills, and since that's what I'm using, it actually netted me an extra skill and more cast rate, which is awesome. So I still hit the break point. I'm over 105. I have a total of 112, which I really don't need to go any higher than that. I shoot fast enough, and I was able to recoup quite a bit of bonus out of that. I think I got an extra few hundred damage, which is really ideal. Every little bit helps. Now, if I had an entire inventory full of fire grand charms, that would be even better. But I mean, I'm not. I'm a little late to the party for PD2, so me having any gear is not really a big thing right now. Eventually, maybe, but right now, not so much. Merc is as good as paper. I'm also trying to make sure that I open up all of these chests and move all the rocks and everything. But sometimes you find some good stuff. I found more Worldstone shards, which in Path of Diablo is basically allows you to corrupt an item, and you get a random chance to roll a new stat for it. It could be sockets. It could be one of skills. It really could be. There's like a bunch of different affixes that it could be. But I mean, you always hope for either a lot of sockets on, the bigger items, or you hope for maybe one of skills, increased attack speed, faster cast rate. Depends on the character you're using. Really, whatever you need is what's important. But I've seen some pretty cool things roll on different items. So maybe we'll get lucky and roll something fun. Most of my gear currently is corrupted. Not everything's like a winner, but for the most part, I got some okay stuff. And my gear's mostly just okay. Stupid merc. So I think what's happening right now is my merc is dying a lot because I am not devoting 100% to what's going on, because I'm also investing a little bit of time in you guys, which if you're live right now, there's nobody here. Ah, I died. But if you're watching later on YouTube, then you already know that you're the only one here. See if I can snatch my body. Alright, got my body. I get my useless mercenary. Drop my gold so I don't lose any more of it. Back in business. Get in there. That's not doing it for me. That works. Big shout out to Game Chops for the royalty-free music. Thank you so much, guys, for making some awesome tunes to listen to while you're gaming on stream. Sometimes I use stream beats, but Game Chops just kind of itch the right way. Looks like a smaller cow map. Sometimes they're very wide open. This one's got a lot of narrow pathways here, which is fine. Not a big issue. Two to elemental skills. I think I have a better amulet than that for my elemental druid, but I'll hang on to it. The worst thing that can happen is I don't need it, and then I mute, like I sell it or something. Alright, pull him back. Oh. Back. Game's ending in 30 minutes. We will have this cleared out in half of that time. Go back. Just like that. So the important thing to note while kind of leveling in an area that you're not quite ready for is if you can't kill anything in the area, it's not worth it. The time it takes to kill one, or like say if you're in the cow area, the time it takes to kill one pack is like ridiculous. You could have easily leveled in an area that you actually could do some damage, versus you know, coming in here and spending like an hour and a half, 2 hours on a single cow level that gets you maybe one level. Be better off just going in a place where you're slightly over leveled and doing those for a few runs. Like for example, if I did chaos runs right now, probably be a little over leveled for it, and I wouldn't get as much experience as a cow level, but the amount of chaos runs I could do in an hour versus however many cows I could do in an hour would be greatly lopsided, thus giving me more experience. So it's good to outweigh that a little bit. Just be aware of what you're capable of. if your character's just not able to hang in an area, if you can't kill anything, it's not worth it. Don't bother. But like this, like I'm definitely not struggling. And a sorceress is going to be a glass cannon anyway, so it's not really a place that I need to be able to take a bunch of hits. Like I just need to be able to take like a couple hits, like 1 or 2 hits, so I can get away. That's all I need. That's your basic, you know, glass cannon sorceress build. Ooh, those are fast. I don't know what that is, but I want it to die.
I need mana. I can't carry anymore.
Ah, lame. 6 to mana is such a waste of a grand charm roll. Although I've found some neat stuff in a couple cow runs that I've been in tonight. I don't remember what they are. One of them was a unique amulet. Started with an S. It wasn't this. It's not the. It's not the hymn. It's the paladin. It's not the paladin one. It just gives me a bunch of resistance. Enhanced damage. It's kind of a neat little ammy. I slammed it and got, I think, I don't remember what I got on it. So the term, just for anybody not familiar with PD2, slamming something is just running the Worldstone shard through it and seeing if you can corrupt it. B-star. Unfortunately, with corrupting items, you can sometimes break them. So we call it when you brick an item. So you try not to do that. I mean, you have no control over it, but there is a 25% chance that your item will brick and be pretty much worthless. However, I will say that that's not always the case, that you may brick something and its broken form is still useful in its own way. Mr. Hollywood, one of the other streamers that I moderate for, he rolled, I can't remember the item, but it was not garbage. It was actually it was like a poor man's Ravenfrost ring. It had cannot be frozen and a lot of similar stats to a Ravenfrost, but it was it was just a yellow rare ring, so it rolled something good still. It was the unbroken brick, call it. Probably makes no sense. I think we just got through everyone. What's up, Bilbo? How's it hanging, man?
The sisterhood welcomes you. Good day.
Late night stream for me, buddy. Had a lot of damage on it. I don't know if I should have sold that or not. I don't know what I'd use it for, though. You're about to crash, but then you saw me on and you're like, I gotta go mess with him for a few minutes. Well, I appreciate you popping in and saying hello before you go to bed. That was nice. Just crushed some cows. Everybody loves killing cows. Were you in Hollywood stream today when that thief hopped in and made a mockery? Yeah, I did. I found the dirty little slurper. Yes, we submitted a ticket to the PD2 mods that we know, and we'll see if anything comes of it. I'm not super confident that anything's gonna come of it, but yeah, it wasn't cool, man. We all show up, have a good time. We know the rules. Yep. The problem is, so the person that it was, they were stream sniping, so they didn't follow the queue. They just I don't know if you remember when Woot said something about someone stole a spot and he couldn't figure out who it was. Well, this person who was the slurper. For those of you who aren't familiar with slurping, it basically means that you're out in the middle of the action, something cool drops, and you grab it before anybody else does. That's what we call slurping. So basically, the Woot House rules are Mr. Hollywood rolls all the items that are good in the game, and it's based on a random dice roll that everybody can see on stream. So it's fair for everyone. If you win the item, you win the item. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it, and then you'll re-roll it for somebody else. This asshole came in and started stealing shit right out from under everybody, which, you know, it ruined the stream, and it kind of ruined everybody's mood at that point. But you play the game and you're gonna pay. So hopefully our video slowed down. We got you on camera. We know who you are, and next time you show up, if you are able to show up, you won't be allowed back. So, boo. Yeah, I have a feeling that what's gonna happen is he's gonna get banned from the PD2 servers, and he won't be able to play the game, and that's on him. You know, you're gonna play dirty, you're gonna stream snipe, you're gonna steal stuff. I mean, people don't want that. People don't like that. Not okay. But we know who it is. We have proof, and that's all been submitted. We have his account name. We have everything we need except for his Twitch name. So he may show up later and complain about it, and then he'll be banned there as well. So hope you got what you were hoping for, but you didn't count on the Woot House dropping some Wu-Tang Clan on you. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, next game. It just irritated me so much when I saw that. Woo. Yeah, Woot's worked really hard, put in a lot of time. He's done a lot for the community, and for some ignorant asshole to come in and just start stealing stuff from the community, it's not cool. And you know, the really sad part is, for as good as the community is, had he asked for it, he would have probably given him some free. The community would have banded together and gave him a bunch of free shit that was probably worth more than an Omrune. I know that the community has done a lot of nice things for me, and you know, like, I was playing a game, they popped in and said, oh hey, here's some stuff for your character. What character are you? Oh, here, take all this stuff. A lot of the stuff that I've got now is because of a lot of really nice people in the community. As far as how I'm liking PD2, I like it. I like it a lot. It's actually more fun than I've had playing Diablo, really in over a decade, if I'm being honest. I was really hesitant at first playing, just because there's a lot of server issues, and I think they may have done some balancing work on the characters and in monster difficulties and stuff since it started. Because I know that when it first started, it was miserable to get going. But now it's not so bad. Where did my... There it is. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm digging it. Having a lot of fun with it. I'm not sure when they're doing the reset for ladder. I thought it was supposed to be in March, but I heard that they may have pushed it back to April. But we'll see. Figured I'd be playing a hardcore. So around the time when PD2 first came out and everybody was kind of hopping off of POD, I was just hopping on POD, so I was in the mood to play hardcore. Not really because I wanted to, mostly just because my brother, who plays a lot of hardcore and really enjoys it. I wouldn't say he conned me into it, but he certainly pushed me in that direction. And for a lot of years, he asked me, "Hey, why don't you play a couple hardcore characters with me? I'll help you out. I'll show you the ropes. I'll get you some gear." And then I just said, "You know what? Sure, well, let's do something I haven't done before. I'll play some hardcore." So I played that for about a month or so, and I died a lot, which was miserable. But I had a lot of fun with it. But I wanted to get back into my softcore roots and really kind of learn what PD2 is about, so that when the server does reset and I do play it a little bit more, that I can kind of keep up with the pack and play with everybody. So right now I'm just kind of learning some of the skill differences, just playing some builds. I've got like probably 4 or 5 characters running right now, just testing out different things and seeing what's an effective leveling strategy for each one of them, and see what's strong, what isn't. And just playing around with it, just kind of getting familiar with the differences, because I didn't think there would be as many differences between the retail copy of Diablo 2 and PD2, and I was sorely mistaken. I think I had that impression because when I was playing Path of Diablo, it really wasn't that different from the retail edition. I mean, there were a few skill differences and maybe a couple item differences, but you could probably count it up in a handful of differences, at least from what I saw. I could be very wrong about it. But when I got to PD2, I was expecting a similar experience, and I was very wrong. And there was a lot of differences that I had to learn really quickly. So, having a lot of fun with it. Waiting to get this amulet on for my fire skills. Then I'm going to toss this ring on. Green Dude versus Senpai. It's Green Dude is the Path of Diablo guy, right? Honestly, I think that they would be best to coordinate this together, and they should have a seat, like PD2 runs a season, and then halfway through the season, POD picks up. Because by the time you're halfway through a season, PD2 would, for the most part, be played through by anyone who's really grinding ladder and getting to the top. And then the people who are still playing after that are just having fun with it. And they're not really as competitive. It's more or less just, yeah, let's just keep playing. But the people who are very competitive can jump into POD if they want to. And then they could play a season there or a half season. By the time that half season's over, PD2 kicks back on. And then, again, the cycle rotates. I think that they should coordinate it that way. But that's going to be largely up to what they feel a season duration is and how long that they think that should run for. But yeah, I think that having healthy competition is a good thing. But, if you're going to count dollars to donuts here, people are going to pick one or the other if they start at the same time. And they're going to go for the game that's better. And I hate to say it, but in most ways, PD2 is much better. And I really enjoy POD, but if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably stick with PD2. Unless I'm going to play an Amazon Boazon build, just because they have those extra items. And really the only thing I could see them having success with is if either A, PD2 incorporates all the great things about POD into it, and they just consolidate their efforts into one great mod. Or if they run, like I said, not at the same time, but they staggered, so that each mod has an opportunity to flourish and have its own life cycle. And then that could drive competition for each of them to grow in the same direction, but on separate paths, having their own uniqueness to one another. Started playing some hardcore. It's been years. Got a necro up, running largely. You've ripped at 76. Oh man, that's rough. That's really rough. I have not got a character to level 76 in hardcore yet. Have not. Yeah, I think I agree. I think staggered seasons would be the best thing for both mods, because they each can exist, simultaneously. You're not going to get everybody to play both, but you're still going to have a little something special for everybody between the two. And what one doesn't have, the other one might. And that gives, it's just more room for people, two different camps, to come up with really great ideas separately and make the modding community that much better. So hell yeah, I'm all for having it run simultaneously but staggered. That would be, I think, the best thing for it. Yeah, I think my first day with POD was the day that Woot had his last charity stream, which I think was November. Was it like just somewhere in the middle or beginning of November? And when he ran that, and Mindtricks ran it simultaneously because they were running for the same charity, which was a fantastic day for streaming. That was the day that I installed PD2 for the first, or POD for the first time, just because I hadn't really played Diablo in a while, and I was playing retail a little bit here and there. But when I won so many marbles games, I couldn't, help but have a character. Yeah, it was right before PD2 went live. So I installed PD2 not long after it went live, but with all the server issues and whatnot, I didn't really play it much. So, but I gotta say, I've had a lot of fun. I didn't have I'll say I did not have as much fun playing POD, just because it's not that far removed from the retail edition, and I had been playing the retail edition prior. So there wasn't a lot of new things, but for what few new things that I experienced, they were worthwhile. Like having unique arrows and bolts, like that was pretty cool. I would like to see new items like that come to PD2 for sure. LOD feels so bad after playing the mods. I agree. It has not, it's aged fantastically well, but it has not aged well enough for it to last long enough into the future without innovation. And I think that's what's so special about these mods is it's a game that's familiar, but there's some nuance and some new changes to it that really make it special and almost set it apart into being a new game. When you look at the mapping system, like adding endgame to it feels like they added an entire expansion to the game. Adding, oh shit. Yep. Get you every time. Adding new items for like unique arrows and bolts and stuff like that Now that all feels fresh, like an expansion, and that's really what this game needs to survive, I think. Without it, it's just gonna disappear.
Good day.
But I hope that the people behind these mods spend a lot of time, coming up with some new, new items, new gear, maybe even new quests. And, if they could come up with an entire new zone, and, not just like a mapping system, but like an entire expansion zone, that would be pretty dope. I think that'd be awesome. Not surprised Blizzard's doing a remaster now. They have to notice the success of PD2 and POD. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's Blizzard, if I'm not mistaken, before these mods came out, Blizzard had the idea that nobody really cared about old properties. And maybe I'm thinking Nintendo, or was it PlayStation? There were a lot of people in the gaming industry that just felt that people didn't care about, retro titles and retro properties, that they didn't see money in it. But with the rampant success of classic systems and a few games that got remastered that did very, very well, like we're talking like the Crash Bandicoot remaster, we're talking about the Spyro remaster. Anytime they remaster a game and do it justice, and it sells almost as well as it did when it first came out, they realized they had something. So for Blizzard to decide to make the Warcraft 3 remaster, and it did well, it sold well, they're like, okay, maybe we have something here. They're more willing to listen now. But of course, you get a mod like PD2 and POD, and you see how successful it's become, and yeah, they can't help but notice that there's money to be made. And what really worries me about it is I don't want to see these mods get shut down. I think that they offer a lot of healthy competition for retail Diablo, and if it were to push Blizzard into really kind of looking, like taking a step back, being humble, look at these mods for what they are and say, what about these mods have people running at them in droves to play them? And then maybe even hire the people behind it, like say, hey, you guys have done a fantastic job donating time and energy and effort into this property, and you seem to know, you have your finger on the pulse, what people want. Why don't you come be advisors with our game development team to actually work on the remaster? To me, I think that would be worthwhile. But I have a feeling that Activision would think that that's too. Activision would look at it and say that's beneath them. What they would rather do is throw lawyers at them, cease and desist letters, like tell them, hey, you guys got to shut your servers down. We're gonna claim intellectual property licensing, and there's really nothing these guys can do about it. I think we've seen that before from Activision Blizzard, if I'm not mistaken. Which is, it's really too bad, because really the only people they're hurting by these mods getting shut down is you and me, the players. They're taking away something fantastic for no reason whatsoever besides money. And they did that with a lot of, oh yeah, they did. It was them. They had World of Warcraft Classic servers that were for free. Nobody paid to play them. The people who ran them didn't make money off of it, and they did it for the love of the game. And they shut it down because they were at the time they were planning to release their own classic servers, but it wasn't until they had to go through that battle with people did they realize exactly how many people were affected by shutting those down. And they said, well, we can make money just by offering our own classic server. If people want to play it bad enough, then they'll pay for it. And that's what happened, which it's not a bad thing. I won't dispute the idea that having retail classic servers is you know, good for the system, because it is. I think that was a good thing, but I don't think they should have shut down you know, a perfectly good server. You know, there's a lot of people that put a lot of time and energy into, you know, characters and just a lot of man hours involved in setting that stuff up and maintaining it. You know, they had a big community that just kind of died, so it was kind of sad to see that happen. And I would be equally as sad to see something like PD2 go like that after all the people that invested their time and energy in it, you know, for however long it lasts. You know, I'd feel bad to see them have to watch all their hard work go down in flames like that. But, you know, that's the name of the game. And really, you gotta know that the people behind these, they go into this knowing that. That's not a bad bow. Yeah, it's just a, you know, it's just a big risk. Everybody knows what they're in for when they sign up for something like this. Oh, no. That was lucky. That's what I get for teleporting all around the map, thinking that, you know, I'm not squishy or something. Very squishy. All right, man, Bilbo, thank you so much for stopping in. It was fun chatting with you. Have fun at your daughter's basketball game, and hope you get some good rest tonight. I'm sure I'll catch you during the next Woot stream, or maybe my next stream, whichever comes first. Which probably be Woot stream, because I think he's planning to have a decent stream day tomorrow. But you take care, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. No, get back here, look, before you get hurt. Might have to go to town and get some monopots. Oh, a dull rune. That's pretty decent. Saw that Kraken shell. So a lot of the mid and top tier just white armor sets, they sell for a good amount of money. And usually the max that you're gonna get is about 35,000 gold at a time, which is fine. Most of these armor plates are worth, you know, around that, if not, you know, that. Yeah, and that's why I picked them up. The mana. Alright. Pull back. Corral works out pretty nicely because it blocks me from a lot of these random cows. All right, pick up some of these.
Thanks.
All right. This cow level is almost completely tapped. Getting really good experience, and I'm at the point where I'm starting to level faster in them. So for anyone who is not aware, different areas have more or less optimal leveling experience, and it's really just based on your character's level and what you can't see, which is the area level. And I can't remember exactly what the cow level is. I'm pretty sure it's in the secret cow level. You can actually get all of the different gear in it. Lucky Lucanio, thank you so much for that raid, buddy. Do you all have a good stream over there? How you doing? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. What's going on, Dadbod streaming? MVD Hardy.
I need mana.
Brian THH, thanks so much for following, man. I appreciate that.
Not enough mana.
Maps for days, that's awesome. I haven't been doing any solo maps myself. I have a bunch of tier 1 and tier 2 maps. I just haven't done them myself yet. I've been having a lot of fun with the cows, to be honest. I don't know how many of you came from Mr. Hollywood's stream, but you know that I made his secret cow level sub alert. Thank you very much, Lucky. Appreciate it, bud. Thanks so much for streaming. Thanks so much for raiding. Moo. Good high room farming in here. That's good, man. I hope I find some good ones. If I can find a couple Ist runes, an Om rune, I think we'll be in good shape. Really, what I need to find, what I'm farming runes for, is Chains of Honor from my paladin. He really needs some defense. So once I find that, I have a few armor pieces that I have that are superior that I think I'm gonna use. I rolled a really high F Exile the other day, which was awesome. Definitely a lot of fun when you roll a high tier rune word like that. I rolled it in an F Vortex Shield too. If I find an Ethereal Superior Archon plate, let you know. I might have one. Once I finish this cow run, I'll double check it. Superior Dimensional Blade. Nothing special about that. 13+%. Yeah, man, I'll check that right after I finish this. I'm almost finished this cow level anyway. Once I get there, I will check it. And you can just have it. I don't need anything for it. I find Archon plates for days. I did find a 15+% Dust Shroud, which I'm pretty excited about. I don't think it's ethereal though. $20-some maps, not one Archon plate. Dude, I've sold like a dozen Archon plates and cows. If you want to find good armors, you gotta go to cows. And honestly, I find that there's sometimes a lot better drops in cows. Believe it or not, I rolled 2 sorceress skillers with life, and not just a little bit of life. I have a cold and a lightning skiller. One of them rolled 20, I think like 24, 25 life. The other one rolled 30. So yeah, it was pretty significant. I can't kill that guy. I think yeah, this is pretty much tapped. All right, let me sell a couple of these armor pieces and I'll head over and check. Kind of lame. I'm gonna hang on to it. All right. Felt bamboozled. Yeah, I would too, man. You run maps and you hope to get good items and good armor and whatever it is that you need, and sometimes you just get, you know, left out in the cold. All right, let me open a new game here and see what I got. Do I have... I have a 14% Archon plate. It's not ethereal though. Yeah, no, that's all I got. Oh, I got. No, that's not superior either. So yeah, this is the best I got for Archon. Making a stone. I have this. How many runes go into stone? Let's take a look. Oh, it's going on a source. Yeah, that doesn't help you out. Let's see. Shale pull lum. Yep. And Archon for the strength requirement. So you're looking right around 100. Yeah, I don't have any. What? So it's going on a sorceress. What else is going on your sorceress? Are you running Spirit Shield, or are you going with a two to skills lidless? Gurks. Got decent. So basically, it's just a lot of resistances and max block. Let's see. I have. There's a lot of items in the game that I just have not yet seen. So I'm just gonna take a look here. So they added $1 skills on that. That's not bad. You know what? Actually, I have one of these. I put it on my necromancer. I don't think he could use it yet. But you're talking about this, right? Yeah, my resistances rolled really high, but most of the stuff rolled pretty low. Game name is CBG-2 password 1. Double them. Hey, double ums and everything. Look at you go. Not a bad roll on the ED on the lidless. Strength's almost perfect here. You must have put something to add a bunch of cold resist because you definitely rolled higher than the max. So this corrupted at 2 to sockets is what I'm seeing. And to resistance 15, negative 15 requirements. Oh, that's handy. Yeah, 71 to resistances. That's fantastic. So, but you basically want you want to roll a 1 to plus, an extra 1 to plus skills with corruption, so that it shows up as 2 to all skills, and then you want to roll a puzzle box to try to get 3 sockets. Is that what I'm understanding? You should also you should up your item too. Colem with a perfect diamond. That'll give you some extra defense. That'll help out. Pissing in the wind. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Pretty good shields though. Yeah, I don't have any really good shields. I have a storm shield myself, and I got a 2 to skills lidless, but mine didn't roll an extra 10% faster cast rate, which would have been sick if it did. Very nice. You got a +3, 2, and 2 open sockets Shaco. Oh, dude, you rolled cannot be frozen on that helmet. That's really nice. That completely negates having to have a Ravenfrost. Very good. That's kind of sick, dude. Can't be frozen on a Stone of Jordan. What more could you ask for? Am I right? Yeah, once you have cannot be frozen on a Stone of Jordan, there's nothing else that you possibly could ask for. Builds all over the place. Oh, you rolled 1 of skills on that as shoot us? Dude, that's sick. Very nice. You got a lot of good rolls. +1 to skills on Tal's armor. 10% faster cast rate on that Ami. So are you rolling cold or are you rolling fire? Oh, nice. That's the best Maras in the game. +1 to all skills and a perfect resistance roll. Well, you definitely should use it. It'd be a shame not to. But you're stuck at the moment. You need faster hit recovery, fire GCs. Can't find any. Yeah, I don't know if that rolls on fire. I'm sure it does. It's just it's not as common. You'd probably more likely find lifers than that. It's pretty cool though. What are you gonna do when they reset PD2? What's your build strategy? Maybe go Frozen Orb. The thing I find with Cold is it's not particularly great, you know? Like, it's really good in retail, but I think they nerfed it a bit. Not being able to run Chaos. Just get an Infinity. Doesn't that break fire immunes, or does it not do enough? You have one, it doesn't break them. Oh, that sucks. Maybe what you need instead of a Infinity Merc, maybe you get a Merc that does some physical damage, something to complement. That might help a lot. I mean, there's a lot of room you can do, like a lot of room to play with some of these other mercenaries. I would say like you could get an Act 5 Merc with Might, throw on I have an Ethereal Bone Snap on one of my Act 5 Mercs. It's actually on my Necromancer, and I put a couple Shales and Amaroon. Like, he does some really good damage, and there's extra room to grow with him because some of his gear is just kind of junk. I'm pretty sure I'll grab him here in a second once I get this cow level opened up. But I think he's doing, like, at the minimum he's got to be doing at least 1500, if not like 2200. But I'd have to check. His gear, like I said, his gear is kind of ass, but it's mostly because he's low level. But having that Might Aura was really huge for my my skeleton army, because my my Necromancer's a summon answer. Nice, dude. If you haven't opened your cow run, you should join my game. We'll run together. Oliver, you're not supposed to sit up here. You are. Just lay down so you're not interrupting my cow game. All right, let me go check my my Merc real quick if you just want to hang out in that game for me. All right, let's see. So my mercenary is doing, well, it's only 1400 damage. Again, his gear's really ass, but this is the Ethereal Bone Snap I found. I corrupted it at 5 open sockets, which is almost 6, but you don't complain about 5 open sockets on a Bone Snap. The only thing that would make this better is if I was running 5 burrs. Maybe 5 ohms. I don't know if you can see that on my stream. The enhanced damage rolled pretty high, but the crushing blow didn't do anything for me. And neither did the resistances. But, I mean, it's a Merc weapon. Oh yeah, you're gonna smoke cows in here. Yeah, I'm just mostly leveling right now, so. Are you Frozen Orb? Is that your build? No, sorry, not Frozen Orb. Fireball. I don't know why. It's probably because we were talking about Frozen Orb a minute ago. Fireball combustion. Yeah, that's what I have. My gear is just total garbage. I mean, not total garbage. This is not good. Hydra's cleanup. See, the problem I have is my gear is so low and my level's so low that I don't do really a lot of damage, and I don't know how good combustion's cooldown gets afterwards, but it pretty long. I'm running the Hexfire Shamseer with 3 fire skills. It stays long. That's too bad. Yeah, I mean, I do okay with the run, but I certainly have to pull back on it. Is that for me? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, I can't use it yet. Oh, it's because I need to be 72. A couple more levels I can use it, but I appreciate you giving me that. That'll definitely help damage. I don't know how many other people are active in chat from Lucky Stream, but you guys are awful quiet. I mean, it is kind of late. Could just be really shy. Brian just woke up. It's 8:30 a.m. And where are you right now where it's 8:30 in the morning? Germany. Wow. Well, welcome from Germany. I'm actually in Maine in the United States. So it is 2:30 in the 2:30 in the morning here.
I am overburdened.
Waving to the other side of the pond. Nice.
I can't carry anymore.
Brian, if I'm not mistaken, you hang out in Hollywood stream in the afternoon for your time, right? I think I've seen you in there before. Yup. So you already know who I am.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, this is why I don't get into his streams until later in the second half. It's usually 1:30 in the afternoon for you. Ironically enough, for me, it's 1:30 in the afternoon by the time I wake up and get on stream to watch him. Yeah, I gotta fix that though, because that's not gonna be sustainable for me long term. I just had a job interview on Tuesday with the local internet cable network. They
I am overburdened.
want me to do some call center work for them, which it's not my favorite, but I mean, kind of got to pay the bills, and I'm running out of unemployment pretty soon here. Most of what I've been able to do is
Impossible.
make up a little money on the side through Fiverr and whatever I can do to make a little extra side cash. You're in Pennsylvania? Nice. Well, thanks for running me through the cows. I really appreciate it. What is the siege bow? Is that any good?
Impossible.
I'll probably come back and sell whatever it is.
Sisterhood welcomes you.
You wish me good luck. Call center is hard stuff. Yeah, I've worked in call centers before though. It would not be my first rodeo in a call center. Oh, cool. Oh wow, 222. You don't see those very often. The three open sockets must be the corruption, right? Oh man, I appreciate that. Now I can get rid of my old tiles. It was a 211. Well, have a good night, man. I appreciate you stopping by. That's fun. We'll play again sometime. Bad Boy Streaming says Wizen Drew or Cliff Killer. Well, we'll find out here in just a moment, that's for sure. Depends how nice the customers are. So the nice thing about the call center position is it's 100% inbound. So it's not like I'm cold calling people, you know, saying, hey, you should buy this cable company's service or anything like that. I've done cold calls. It definitely is not fun.
I can't.
But I mean, it's not like if I had to that it would be the end of the world. But it certainly would not be my first choice. Yeah, it's largely like new customers that want to sign up, or people. For the most part, it's going to be a lot of people calling in about issues that they're having with their bill or their service. Oh, Witch Wild String, check that bow out. Very nice. Yeah, there'd be a lot of questions about you know, their bill, why is it this high, or why is it, you know, usually they don't call when it's low, but it's just will be a lot of support, which is nice. If I'm going to be in a call center, I'd rather it be inbound than outbound. I forgot I had stuff in there. Outbound sucks. Yeah, it does. Yeah, no, it's especially during a pandemic. Honestly, could you imagine calling anybody and being like, hey, I know that you probably got laid off during the pandemic and probably not making any money, and you're probably on unemployment, but you want to buy this useless shit that this company wants to sell you? No, didn't think so. Moving on. It's just like, how thick do you got to be to do that to your customers? Yeah. If they told me that it was going to be an outbound call center, I would not have even bothered telling them that I was interested. They did. So I guess I should go back, take a step back and say they haven't actually hired me yet. What they did was they said, well, there's another interview that you can go through. So I have to actually do like a second step interview. But once I do that, at that point, they can extend an offer. But I mean, most call centers, they're going to hire anybody who isn't a complete idiot. And I fit that bill pretty well. Not a complete idiot. I would have killed them to give me a shale rune. All right. I'm so close to hitting that next level. All right. We'll do one more and get to level 70. But yeah, for me, like I'm pretty set as far as not having any debt, and financially, I'm relatively responsible. I have to say relatively because I will on occasion just dump a bunch of money at some useless shit that I don't need. But I don't have debt, so I can justify if I've got money in the bank, nothing in the red. I think the only thing that I have to pay for is my car, but it's more of a working expense. I don't necessarily need a car, but everybody's got to have one. Get around. You should call me from your outbound call center. I mean, call me if you want to. Gonna offer me some useless shit.
Good day.
15 max damage. That's cool. Almost 100 to lightning damage. Not bad. I don't know what I'll use it for, or if I will use it. Add it to the pile of gems. It's funny. Yeah, when I used to be an assistant manager for a Walmart, and we had a guy come through, and he was selling like a slicer, and he gave out, I think, 2 free like paring knives if you bought the slicer. And I do not remember for the life of me how much the slicer cost, but I bought like 2 of them, maybe even 3. I cannot remember. I bought a couple for Mother's Day, and I bought one for my fiance. And I mean, it's nice, but they really hooked me to buy some useless shit by telling me they're gonna give me some free knives that everybody claims are the best knives, and then for a slicer that looked like it does everything. And I did use it for a while, but it got so cumbersome to clean it that I just said, fuck it, I'd rather just use a knife anyway. And I've gotten a lot better at cutting vegetables and prepping vegetables with a standard chef knife. So in a way, it helped me be less lazy in learning how to do that. But it's really cool. Like, you know, a lot of those slicers, you have to pull out like a plate and change the plate for different blades, which is great because it's easy to clean, right? Take the blade out, the sharp bits out, and then you can clean it with anything. You know, you're not gonna worry about cutting yourself. But this one, it has a turn knob, and all the blades rotate on like a spindle, which is cool. You know, that kind of hooked me. It was like, oh, I don't have to have like a million accessories. I just gotta turn the knob, and it's a different blade for a different cut. And that's great, except for the fact when you gotta clean it, and all the blades are sticking up like this, and they're really, really small. Yeah, no, it was rough to clean. I cut myself a few times, not bad, you know, just a little bit. But after I cut myself just a couple times, I said, you know what? Screw this. I am not using this this slicer anymore. I still have it. It's in the kitchen drawer, but I think that that'll be the next thing to go out. The only thing that I could really see keeping it for is if I want to make like pickles and can some pickles. It's a lot easier to cut up a lot of cucumbers that way. But I mean, I'm still really good with a chef knife, so it's still like, what's the point? But yeah, I'm a sucker for useless shit that I don't need. And I wish I wasn't, but I can't help it. Actually, speaking of useless shit that I don't need, I have one of the local gun stores. But when the pandemic was like, I don't know, I guess I should just say in July, I called the gun store and said, hey, I'm looking for this AR-15, and I gave him the model number that I was looking for, and I said, can you get this? And they said, yeah, it's one we can get. You know, it's not gonna be, we don't know when it's coming in. They're on order. We can put your name on a list, and when it comes in and it's your turn, you can choose to buy it or you can let it go. Because I didn't have to pay any money down for a deposit or anything. So I did that. This was before I got laid off. And I completely forgot about it until they just called me a week ago and said, hey, that gun that you put on hold is here. Can you know, if you want it, let us know. If you don't, let us know, and we'll let someone else buy it. So I've kind of been thinking to myself, do I really want to invest, you know, almost $2,000 on an AR-15 rifle? You know, is it something that's financially responsible for me right now? And I mean, the short answer is, can I afford it? Yeah, I can afford it. Do I need it? No. I can't tell you the last time I went to go, you know, to the range to fire off the guns that I do have now. Which is a big reason why I'm considering not getting it. Other than the fact that since July, I figured out I have a baby coming. So my fiance's pregnant, and now I got to think about kind of keeping some of that money for the baby and not spending it frivolously on myself, which kind of a little bit selfish. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, we're really excited. But again, it comes down to the idea, like, yeah, I'd love to have it, and it'd be nice to justify buying it, but spending $2,000 on anything that's not baby related right now is like,
Hello.
see, I'm also on the idea that, you know, I don't want to not be able to get it later if I don't get it, because the list was really long when it was arguably easier to get, and now that we've had a change in presidents and the current administration, they don't like guns. They don't think we should have guns. And they want to do as much to restrict our ability to have them as possible. You know, I'm questioning if I don't get it now, is it gonna even be available to me later? So I'm kind of in a position where I don't know what I should do in the end. Gun thing sounds strange for Europeans. Gun store not gonna happen over here. Yeah, no, it's... See, the thing with the United States is they said a long time ago that it's our right to protect ourselves, not only from you know, each other, it's for hunting, but you know, it's ultimately it was written to protect against a tyrannical government, which is why, you know, why we still allow our citizens to buy them. And I know it's different in the UK and everything over there, but the second the people can't protect themselves from the government is the second the government starts not giving you freedoms. Yeah, it's certainly part of the culture. I mean, America wouldn't be a thing if we didn't flee Europe, you know. We flee Great Britain, you know, a long time ago over taxes, you know, and the ironic part now is we have some of the highest taxes in the entire world, and that's what we fled from in the first place. Yeah, I mean, arguably it's different too. Like the UK, it's more about, you know, royalty. Am I right? You know, with like England, it's all about the king and queen, and that's just been the culture for centuries. Yeah, it's the world is a fucked up place. You guys probably look at us like we're a bunch of animals, and you wouldn't be far off. There's a lot of things that we are way too into over here, and that we do to ourselves instead of helping one another, which is, it's a damn shame. I try not to get too political on stream, but not really talking politics. I'm just largely just talking the sport of owning a firearm. So I do enjoy going out to the range and target practicing. Like I enjoy that a lot. Yeah, the world would be pretty fucked up and boring if everybody was the same. You're absolutely right. And it's funny because people here in the United States would call it diversity, right? And then they would argue that more people should be diverse and have differences of opinions and different cultures. But the second those differences of opinions and cultures cross the boundary of what a certain sect believes, now they're demonized and called terrorists and racists and bigots and just demonized for having a different opinion or different value set than you know, somebody else. And it's too bad, you know. And it's not just the left versus the right, you know. The right does it just as much as the left does. It's unfortunate. If everybody got together and actually concerned themselves with what was most important to the people, instead of the drama and you know, the party, just the partyism, just only doing what the party wants and demonizing the other party until, you know, they decide that that's what they want to do. You know, it's pretty much, it's like watching a bunch of toddlers in a car for 8 hours. Are we there yet? He's touching me. He's touching me. Mom, Dad. No, he's touching me. No, I'm not. I'm not touching you. That's basically how our government works here. Nothing gets done. Everybody whines and complains. Everybody makes promises that they don't keep. It's a very sick, toxic environment. And I never understood politics when I was in my 20s, and I started learning more about it in the last in the last 4 or 5 years. Really, I guess the last 6 years I've been really learning a lot about it, and it's disgusting. I hate it. Pretty strange in Europe as well. Yeah, that whole Brexit thing confused me. I didn't understand what was happening there.
Not enough money.
Yeah, it's just politics.
I am overburdened.
Same shit, different day.
I can't carry anymore.
Or as I like to call it, same shit, different continent. Really, the sad thing that happens with politics is the history books aren't written as factually as they could be. They're written by the victors of conflict. So if there's a big war and, you know, obviously one of the two parties is going to win, that party gets to write the history and demonize the party that lost, you know? Even if the war, like, let's say the good guys lost the war, you would have seen them demonized throughout history books because they weren't the ones that won. Yeah, it's a bunch of shit. That's why there's no good German history books. They keep losing wars. Yeah, that's true. They do lose a lot of wars. But you guys got good chocolate. That's something. And beer. And cars. See, I'm not much of a car guy. What's a German car brand that you guys have? Like, what's the best German car brand? I'll probably recognize it when you say it, but I won't recognize it as being a German car company. Mercedes, Porsche, Volkswagen. Okay, you know what? Actually, yeah, I did know about Volkswagen. I just didn't think about it. Yeah, those are all good cars. BMW. Yeah, those are all really good.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, all we have here is Ford. Ford, Chevy. I don't know about Jeep. I think Jeep's probably US as well. Is it possible to play modded D2 in open BNet with other people? So when you say modded D2, are you talking about Project Diablo 2? Because if you're talking about the game that I'm playing right now, Project Diablo 2, which is it is a mod, yes and no. The mod manager randomizer that can increase density, or maybe other mods like that. So if I understand what you're asking correctly, you're asking me if you can play just more of a generic modded Diablo 2 game, like Pluggy, for example. Could you play Pluggy on BNet with other people? I'm not sure, but if you're talking about PD2, Project Diablo 2 has its own servers. It's separate from Blizzard Activision, and it's maintained by a group of individuals that have a lot of passion for the game and what they do, and you know they don't get paid to do this, so they're really doing it out of the kindness of their hearts and everything, which is great. You know, it's good that they're getting that type of thing out there. Path of Diablo and Project Diablo might have their own servers, but you were curious if this also works with Pluggy. So I would say no, on the grounds that Pluggy is a third-party utility that can manipulate your character. You can kind of add a lot of stuff to it. So for that reason, even like PD2 servers, they'll tell you get banned if you're using mods, just like if you were playing Battle.net. So I would advise against it. But you're gonna... So let me explain why it's a bad thing for that to happen. So if you are creating characters with like super high level items, or you're inventing your own items up from scratch, you know, to get really good gear, you're technically taking away from the experience of other players that more or less struggled to find these items on their own. And that's largely why they don't let you do that. Also, it really messes with the trading systems and the market economy for different items. Like if you're making your own like high level items, what's the point in playing the game for hours on end to grind out and find these items? You know what I mean? Or get items that you can trade to get better items over time. So you start to look at how that affects, you know, the community as a whole. Yeah, it's cool to play single player and get all the cool items and test them out and whatnot, but I would say that that's what's nice about Pluggy is you can create a character in 5 minutes with all of that like really great gear that you want to use on it, and test it out before you spend an eternity creating the character and trading for the items to find out that it really wasn't as good as you thought it might be. So that's I think the difference between using Pluggy in a group setting or using it to complement the game. Yeah, for open Battle.net, I wouldn't, just for the sheer idea that if you do with like classic Diablo, like just the retail version, you might get banned for having that type of mod running, because they have checks in place that will check to see if stuff is modifying the game, or if it detects that there's items that you have that aren't legit items. Yeah, there's a lot of checks and balances in play for that. But yeah, Dieter, I think I saw you in Woot stream earlier today. I meant to respond back to you earlier. I was just elbow deep trying to figure out who was being a jackass in Woot's channel, stealing all the items. I hope I've answered your question properly. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, we try to help each other out. You know, if you got questions, certainly don't hesitate to ask. You know, Woot's always happy to answer questions. I'm always happy to answer questions. You know, if you haven't followed Woot or myself, if you haven't joined our Discords, you know, if you have questions, you definitely want to ask them. You know, we can help you out. And I'm always on Discord when I'm awake. So if you submit a question to my Discord, or if you submit one to Woot's Discord, his Discord's huge. So if you have questions, either he or one of the many people in the community will reach out and answer it for you in there too. So might be worth joining up on our Discords if you need help. This cow level's just about tapped. Yeah, I'm definitely killing these cows a lot faster now than when I first started tonight. I guess is a good thing. Yeah, I can't kill him, and neither can my merc. Stealing items, what happened there? All right, so yeah, it was around the time that you came in. I don't, maybe you were there longer, but about the time you had asked about the mods. Basically the same question that I just answered for you. We were talking about Milkus, the drink, and you were asking about mods, and somebody had jumped into Woot's game. So they stream sniped his game, skipped the queue system to get in with him. And as soon as good stuff started to drop, there was a pure demonic essence that dropped, and this person slurped it. And I mean, maybe that wasn't as big of an issue as the Omrune that they slurped up. If you're not familiar with the term slurping, it's basically when you run up and grab an item before anyone else that when it drops. And Woot has very easy to understand, very basic, simple rules for running games with him. That anything that's a Vex rune or above gets rolled to the group. Anybody who's actively in that game at that time, and he rolls it on screen with a random dice roll. And some of the higher level gear, he'll make a decision on if he's gonna roll it or if he's gonna let the group decide who wants it. But he always likes to ID stuff for the stream, and usually whenever he IDs something, if it's decent, he'll slam it, which is basically, it's a term for using an item in the mod that allows you to roll a random property on whatever item that you're slamming. And it could be a few sockets, it could be one of the skills, it could be cannot be frozen, whatever rolls at that point. But he likes to roll it, and if it quote unquote bricks, if it bricks, he'll toss it. Bricking just basically means that the corruption failed, and it has about a 25% fail rate in PD2 when you try to corrupt something. So yeah, this asshole was taking all the items and you know, giving him back, and thought he was really slick for a while, but I got his account name and I got the proof that he did it, and we submitted it to the PD2 mods. There's a few guys that we know that work in there, and likely this guy will get banned for not only stream sniping but stealing items and not playing by the rules, you know, not playing fair. So whoever he is, you know, he'll probably get his account banned, and when he comes to complain about it, he's gonna get banned in Twitch. Not at Twitch as a whole, but just Hollywood's channel, and likely mine after. We don't take kindly to people who, you know, steal from us. You know, and this is the sad thing is, if that person had just asked for the item, or asked for some items, or asked for help in the game, you know, our community is great. We would have helped him out, but you know, he decided he was gonna play dirty and really kind of ruin it for everybody, ruin the fun. No, we don't like that. We don't take kindly to that. Did it ever happen before? So we've had people come in that haven't followed rules, and usually what happens is they come around. Woot likes to say that people that come in a thief usually get reformed by the way that he plays. What's up, Smoot? How is the difference to Path of Diablo? I would say that this game's a lot more polished than Path of Diablo. It feels good. It's a lot more stable. It wasn't stable when it first came out, but they've gone through a lot of smoothing, and I feel like they've done a lot of balancing too. If you're looking for a solid Diablo experience that gives you more than just the retail edition, I'd say pick PD2 up. You won't be disappointed. I've had the most fun playing PD2 than I have playing Diablo in a long time. And I've been playing Diablo for a long time. But yeah, there's a lot of changes. Too many to lay out at once. But let me I have a resource here that I refer to all the time. This is the wiki, the official wiki for the game, and all the changes and things that they do to it are in there. So if you're a new player, you're gonna want to refer to that as you play and see different things. When will the season end? I think they're gonna re-roll it either in March or April. They haven't quite hammered out a date yet. They're still debating. I'm not exactly sure why they're debating or what they're trying to accomplish, but from what I've heard, they're just they're still figuring it out. Yeah, the mod's super easy to install. You go to Project Diablo 2 or projectd2.com. I can't remember what the website is, but I think it's projectdiablo2.com. And you download it. You of course have to have the retail editions installed. So Diablo 2 and Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, the expansion pack. Once you have those installed, you're gonna run the launcher for PD2, and you're gonna point at the save location for wherever you save the Diablo 2 game. And then it's going to add a new folder within that, and it's going to put a new launcher on the desktop, and you'd launch the game from there. Yeah, it's almost like Diablo 2 developer mode with a lot of quality of life changes and a lot of balancing to the game that was really needed. Some character types that weren't very viable before get more viable. So for example, you don't see Holy Bolt Paladin or Fist of Heaven Paladins in regular retail Diablo 2, just because it was great before the expansion, and then after the expansion it became kind of pointless to use. And then with the PD2, they looked at some of these builds and they said, all right, we're going to make it so that you can pretty much pick whatever type of character build you want to make with your character within your skill trees, and like most of them will be relatively viable. And they've done some balancing with that, and they've also balanced a lot of items to make them better to use. Like a lot of items got an extra +1 to skills, or they beefed up, you know, some of the stats on them, or they added some other fixes that made it worthwhile to use, so that you could really kind of stretch your builds out and make a lot of different things that you couldn't before. So that when I say that it's a much better Diablo experience, those are the types of things that I am referring to. Yeah, there's no way he's not able to use this. He can't use it. Soon. All right. Well, guys, if you haven't followed me yet, I would hope that you do. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Thanks again to Lucky for rating the channel. For those of you who know me from Mr. Hollywood's channel, thank you for hanging out and chit-chatting. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, welcome to the stream. I do hang out Mr. Hollywood's channel a lot. I'm one of his moderators. I make all his graphic designs and stuff. So if you didn't know about me before, next time you're there, say hello. It's always fun to hang out. Sorry for the delay. No, that's fine. That's all good. It's, you know, a lot of people don't know that I stream when I'm in his channel. As of this past month in January, I kind of took most of the month off. I stream like 1 or 2 times a week. For a lot of reasons. Again, you know, I'm having a baby pretty soon, and we moved the computer into the living room so that I maybe could stream a little bit more. And it turned out that I'm streaming less because of it. But I'm going to try to get back into it a little bit. But once I start working, I won't be streaming that much different than I am now anyway. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I still plan on moderating for Woot periodically, making graphic designs and, you know, hanging out with you guys in Diablo. So I won't be going away once I'm working. It's just going to be, you know, odd hours and just going at it a little differently. I'd love for this to be my full-time job. I just, unfortunately, like you guys are just meeting me for the first time, and for a lot of you, it's just hard to get, you know, your name out there. So it takes time, and I'm fully committed to growing my channel and, you know, pushing for this to be, you know, my sole source of income and what I do every day. I really do enjoy it. It's a passion of mine to play games and, you know, share my knowledge with the community and build what I have. And also to help Woot and you guys out in his community. So appreciate it. Right? Yeah, no, it's nice to meet you guys. It's nice to hang out. Again, like I said, I will be streaming more often when I can. And if you haven't followed me yet, please do. And if not, that's cool. I'll be around if you guys catch me next time. So until then, you all have a fun, safe rest of your day, night, and take care. Greetings from Germany. Well, greetings from the United States. I'm in Maine, so right across the pond. Again, if you guys need anything, just reach out. Discord, I'm always available. Take care, guys.